Greetings. In this presentation, I will describe the work of More Justice. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see a presentation I'll provide with it. More Justice is a coalition of caring people of faith who want to address community problems at their root, bringing a change to the conditions that leave people suffering or marginalized. Let me tell you about one issue we've been addressing, namely the lack of affordable rental housing. In the fall of 2018, over 800 people met in homes to surface what concerned them in our community. Today, we often do these by Zoom and sometimes now in person, but often by Zoom. A month later, 500 of them met to vote on the issue that the ministry would address that year. The event took place at Reed Chapel AME Church, and it's called the Community Problems Assembly. Network members vote, and we chose to address the lack of affordable rental housing. Richland County is not unique in this need, but we are among the areas where this crisis is at its most severe. Our county had the 10th highest eviction rate in the country before the pandemic. Imagine having to spend more than a third of your income just to put a roof over the head of your family. To do so is often required of households because there just aren't enough decent, that is, safe, mold-free, functioning. There isn't enough housing, decent housing, at low enough rates to lower income families so that they could afford to rent it without going over the threshold of more than a third of their income to pay for it. It leaves families very vulnerable if they have to pay more to getting behind on rent and eventually being evicted after unexpected bills come in. It was a timely and prophetic decision to choose affordable rental housing as our topic to address because later that year, a whole community of public housing apartments had to be shut down due to them being in crumbling condition and from the danger of gas leaks that tragically killed some people there. Since then, we've also seen a national discussion about the lack of affordable rental units across our country. Forbearance during the pandemic slowed this down, but now it is ended, the crisis is set to return and perhaps even grow worse. Once an issue is chosen, a research committee is formed and they learn as much about the issue as possible to understand its dynamics and also to discern a best way to address the problem. In the case of the lack of affordable housing in our area, the research committee decided that one of the most transformative ways to create additional rental units that are affordable in an area is to create and fund a housing trust fund dedicated to helping entrepreneurs or nonprofits or governments to renovate or create more housing stock. Often it's the grants from a trust fund that make it economically feasible to do this, along with other incentives that developers can utilize. With more rental units that are available at a lower rent, more people can be secure at home and be able to afford the other necessities of life. Evictions are reduced, and quite literally, we keep people, including families, off the streets and give them dignity. And I have an example here of what one housing trust fund has been doing in Minnesota, noting at the bottom there that for every $1 from the trust fund, often $6 is leverage in additional public and private funds for every $1 the trust is able to invest. They are very effective in creating more housing. More Justice first took the proposal for an affordable housing trust fund to public officials in April of 2019. Excuse me, I have here 2018, that's inaccurate. It was 2019. We did so again in March of 2021. This happens in the annual Nehemiah Action. We try to gather as many people as possible to these gatherings. In the first one there, around 1,300 people at Brookland Baptist Church. In the 2021 one, I think it was probably 1,200 people on Zoom, which was amazing. We gathered the people there to show that constituents care about the issue and want action to address it. On the issue of a housing trust fund over the years, we've gained the support of some county council members, and we anticipate that they will bring it before the council. More Justice has also strongly appealed for the use of some of the federal pandemic funds that were granted to our area to be used as seed money for the trust. We're getting closer to a real way to make a difference for many who live insecure in their homes. We will continue to press for the Housing Trust Fund this year and in years ahead until we can convince those with power to hear the voice of the people to do something significant about this problem. I hope that this example of how the ministry is doing its work will help inspire you to get involved. You can do so at many levels of commitment. Simply voicing your concerns at a house meeting, becoming a network member where you make a commitment to be present at 4 additional meetings and to bring 3 people to the Nehemiah action, the most important of those meetings. You can also be involved in the research into the issues. And lastly, you can contribute financially to the ministry to help it continue to be a leaven for justice in our area. These are the house meetings that will be taking place soon at St. John Neumann. And these are also in the communication that we're sending this video to you in. And urge you to look at them and see if it might be possible to attend one of them. And then you can contact us to learn more or to sign up for a house meeting by emailing me or calling the church office. Thank you very much. And thank you for considering this participation in More Justice. And let us know how we can help you get involved.